Yeah.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he's very explosive. He's very explosive, and you know, man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Don't dump it on me, yo. I'm not challenge.
Well, you get this one, man.
Ain't no jumping out.
When Joe Rogan noticed Gervonta "Tank" Davis looking noticeably more muscular and heavy before his upcoming fight with Shakur Stevenson, it was easy to imagine his familiar reaction kicking in that mix of genuine surprise and detailed analytical breakdown, where he sounds both impressed and ready to study every change in the fighter's body.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and it's like patience.
Yes.
Yeah. But he finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like, when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level. He probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence.
On his podcast, Joe Rogan was very direct and did not soften his words at all when he watched the latest training footage of Gervonta "Tank" Davis. He said the fighter looked like he was built inside a strength training lab. His physique now shows much bigger shoulders and raised traps, giving him the appearance of a powerful charging bull. His body frame also looks clearly heavier compared to what fans saw before the Ryan Garcia fight. Joe Rogan then broke it down in his usual detailed way, explaining that this added size could affect Tank's speed and power. He discussed how the extra muscle might even improve his punching force and hip movement instead of making him slower.
It's interesting, right? Like, you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out, or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of like real boxing purists. It's like, you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because there's so many good guys.
But the most interesting part came when Joe Rogan compared Gervonta "Tank" Davis to a smaller version of Mike Tyson shaped by modern training methods, saying he is built for explosive destruction rather than just traditional boxing skills. He also made a light comment aimed at Shakur Stevenson, suggesting that if Shakur believes this version of Tank will simply go for a decision, when then he is completely mistaken, because this fighter is clearly coming in with the intention to finish the fight early. It is clear that Rogan has a strong respect for the discipline behind this transformation, as he enjoys watching fighters evolve, and this current version of Gervonta Davis looks like a major step forward in his physical and mental development, not in a literal sense, but in the way a fighter completely rebuilds himself to make a statement. Joe Rogan summarized it in a simple way, saying this is not just a new version of Tank Davis. This is Tank Davis fully unleashed.
You know, he got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude. You know?
Yeah, coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well. You know, product of his own environment.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
All right, after Joe Rogan broke down Tank's new physique and compared him in a loose way to a smaller Mike Tyson on performance-enhancing level strength, the focus shifts to Wade Plemons' analysis. And the discussion gets even more intense. It becomes clear these analysts are not just showing excitement for the sake of entertainment, but are actually laying out a strategic picture of what is being built behind the scenes in the corner. Calvin Ford is portrayed like a highly focused strategist, carefully studying every habit and tendency in Shakur Stevenson's style, picking apart the smallest reactions that could be used in the fight. This is not treated as light sparring or casual preparation. Instead, it is shown as Gervonta "Tank" Davis refining his skills with precision, sharpening every move and mentally locking into a mindset where there is only one goal, and that is total control and dominance. Because
least serious you take Jake, and I've said this about everybody that's fought him, the ones that don't take him serious, the ones that say he's a YouTuber and everything else, they end up losing, or they end up looking like, oh, wait a second, this guy was a little better than I thought. They end up either getting taken by surprise or actually sometimes losing because they don't realize that Jake actually takes it serious. So this is good to hear. Just already right off the rip, they were already doing something.
Surprise. So tell me, when did you hear about this?
They've been going back and forth for years, Tank and Jake. They've been going at it for years, and it would have happened sooner. You know what I'm saying? But we have hiccups in life.
When people talk about Tank working the body repeatedly, it is not just about wearing someone out physically, it is about breaking rhythm and making every movement feel heavy and difficult for Shakur Stevenson to keep up with. The idea is to slow him down step by step until even basic movement feels draining watching the footage. You can see this is not just about being bigger or stronger, it is also about being more calculated. Calvin Ford's coaching approach is not focused on reckless power shots. It is built like a strategic battle, where every action has a purpose. It becomes a mental and physical game of figuring out how to punish every bit of space that a taller and longer fighter like Shakur Stevenson tries to use, and turning that advantage into a disadvantage.
See a guy that's targeting the body, and it's the best thing that Tank could do for this fight. I mean, trying to go headshot for headshot with Jake Paul when he's probably Jake's 7 inches taller than he is. I'm assuming he's going to have a bit of a reach, even though Tank has a kind of freakish reach for his height. I don't think that's a great idea. And again, you're at eye level with Jake's belly button damn near. So you're going to have to be able to land shots right there on the waistline. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight, if you actually want a game plan, because again, it's an exhibition, but if you want a game plan to get him out of there, you have to attack.
I can see a situation where Tank keeps landing fast, repeated punches to the body, making Shakur Stevenson start lowering his guard and slowing down as the rounds go deeper, creating clear signs of fatigue and openings in the fight. And when Tank connects clean, it would not only reduce Shakur's movement, it could completely change the direction of the bout. The interesting part is that while many people are calling this just an entertainment style, Event Tank is clearly approaching it with full seriousness, as if it were a major title fight, with Calvin Ford guiding him. The focus is on turning pressure and intensity into a weapon rather than just showboating for Netflix. This is not just a spectacle, it looks like a calculated plan from Tank to take control and find every weak spot in Shakur Stevenson's defense.
Ridiculously hard for Tank to actually knock Jake out. Like I'm just, that's like 70-pound difference, 60-pound difference. That means something. And Jake's not some guy that's never thrown punches. He's a relative novice when it comes to, skill level that Tank has, but still, he knows how to protect himself. And again, his body structure allows for some mistakes to happen that he wouldn't have to pay for like he would if he was 135 pounds. Point being, I would be impressed, if Tank knocked him out cold or dropped him with some, hurt him.
And just when it seemed like Calvin Ford was already being brutally honest, Lamont Roach Sr. stepped in with an even sharper critique aimed at Gervonta Davis outside the ring decision. Instead of talking about punches, he focused on business choices, suggesting that Tank avoided a rematch and instead moved toward a Netflix-type platform where entertainment value matters as much as competition. In his view, it looked less like a traditional boxing path and more like chasing digital attention and massive online reach. The situation almost feels like boxing shifting into a new era where matchups are designed for views and streaming appeal more than legacy fights. It is the kind of matchup that would be hard to explain to longtime boxing fans because it sounds more like a crossover internet event than a classic boxing contest, where a serious champion is now facing someone known for entertainment style fame rather than pure boxing background.
It's not good. It's not good for the sport. A lot of people say, oh, money this and money that, but you got to do business the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on that other side, especially fighters, that take time out of their life, train, get their coaches and small partners. They go different places, travel. They invest a lot of times in their career. And it's a lot. So, when they get back, they get news like that, it does not receive well. So, but we solid. We're going to stand 10 toes down, man, and we're going to see what's next for us.
What makes Roach's remarks hit harder is how directly he calls out the business side of boxing. He argues that you cannot walk away from serious competitive obligations just to chase bigger financial opportunities elsewhere and still expect no backlash. It reflects a growing tension in combat sports where money and entertainment are starting to compete with legacy and tradition. At the same time, there is a comparison being made that Many fans can relate to if Gervonta "Tank" Davis truly stepped away from a rematch opportunity in favor of facing Shakur Stevenson. It would feel like skipping a championship final. Just to take part in a celebrity exhibition game, the paycheck might be bigger, but questions about legacy would follow immediately. There's also a clear contrast in fighting styles. Shakur Stevenson brings skill and technical ability, but Tank Davis is known for explosive knockout power packed into a small frame. He is not viewed as someone who treats fights like entertainment showcases, but rather as someone who ends them decisively. So if Shakur enters with a relaxed mindset thinking this is just another spectacle, he could quickly realize that Tank does not operate in exhibition mode, he operates in full consequence mode.
Tank is just so much more better than Jake Paul. And some people feel, well, Jake Paul is this big heavyweight that punches hard, and Tank's going to find out, you know. I mean, do you feel like this is going to be an actual real fight just underneath the term exhibition? And do you see the fight playing out when someone gets hurt?
I don't even want to talk on that fight, me honest. I can care less about what it is. It's an exhibition, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. He ducked that work.
Yeah.
He ducked that work.